welcome back to my channel, and today I'm going to be talking about the second assignment in Design 131 class, which is the cubic composition. So cube is one of those fundamental shapes where you have to know them really well in order to construct and to move on further in your drawing career. So in my opinion, the four fundamental shapes that you should be mastering in perspective drawings are cube, sphere, cylindrical, and tetrahedron. Cube is one of those very fundamental shapes that you should get your hands on and know them really well as soon as possible, because if you look around you, a lot of the object structures around you can be deconstructed into a cube composition. So the premise for this assignment is rather simple. We just need to draw this composition that are made out of boxes stacking anything that is either rectangle, square, or cube. This assignment took about 2 weeks to complete, and I would say it's a decent amount of time for me. So before we dive into the assignment, we actually had a warm-up assignment, which is to draw 20 boxes in 2-point perspective. So if you don't know anything about 2-point perspective, I suggest that you go and Google it right away, because it is very, very important, especially in perspective drawing. We do 20 boxes with 2-point perspective drawings. We did them with blue color pencil first, and we traced them back with pencil. Make sure that the lines that are closest to you are thicker and darker than the lines further away from you. Afterwards, we went to the Design 131 studio, and the instructor had this composition on a maybe 20 by 36 inches table, and what we did was that we had to circle around the composition. Each time we would sit down in a different angle, and we would sketch out the composition from that angle. So each of us did around 3 to 5 compositions, like tiny sketches, just about like around 3 by 5, I think. I forgot, but it was tiny like this. And then from that, we had to pick our favorite angle and composition. Sometimes like 2 people can have the same composition, that is fine. Afterwards, we had to sit there for the next 2 weeks to draw that composition. We start the assignment with measuring. So I assume that all of you have seen like this kind of type going on when people draw. So we use perspective and ratios scaling to measure the composition, and then you transfer that onto the paper. So it took a lot of practice for me. I made quite an amount of errors, but you know, that's a part of drawing, and you can't be afraid of making errors. Besides, it's not pen, it's just blue color pencil, and then we had to go back and trace it with pencil. So overall, it was pretty easy, I would say. But then again, because it's 18 by 24 inch paper, half of the time we're just trying to have our lines straight out, because now I draw more with my forearm and my wrist and my hand. Back then I used to just draw with my wrist and my hand, so I didn't incorporate the forearm in. So it was something that was limiting the ability to draw straight lines, and straight lines just comes from repetition of over a period of time of drawing. So if you don't get it, it's fine. You can practice and be better at drawing straight lines. So in this assignment, what we learn is that how to measure things, what the hierarchy is. So make sure that the hierarchy of this composition is from lowest outer edge and rising up, and the highest at the center or somewhere within the center frame. We learn about line weight. We learn about, especially I made this mistake, is that I would have a lot of textures in the bottom right that tiny box. So the instructor actually said, like, the first thing my eyes are drawn to is the box. So I guess in a way it makes sense, because your eye is gonna draw to the object with either the darkest object or the one with a lot of texture. And I made that mistakes. Even though my whole composition is okay, people keep looking at that tiny box on the bottom right corner. So that was some of the things I learned. So do you have any similar assignments that you would like to share? Comment down below in the comment section, and I will see you guys next time. Goodbye.